So the more on his assists, probably one of my favorite plays for tonight. You can give this one a copy. Otherwise, jump on, give it a go yourself. Best of luck and enjoy the game.
You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
And what an off-season it was for the New Zealand Breakers. Their superstar, he's come back and they've got him for another year.
Of course, Sydney, well, new faces in the guard position in Davis and Dellavedova. Davis again is amongst the action. He's looking very comfortable in purple. On the break as well. I think Davis will take it all the way, the speed.
Lopez, a nice little pass, and what a way to start the year. Menenga with the slam.
Insane. Oh, Isaiah Leoffa, ladies and gentlemen.
Crossover, Karim Lopez.
Hello and welcome to beautiful Sydney for Saturday Hoops. It's the Hungry Jacks NBL rookie round and we are in for a tense clash today. The Sydney Kings taking on the New Zealand Breakers. The Stars are in the house and both of these teams are desperate for a win. Pat Russell and Brad Rosen, it is early in the season, but this feels like it is a must-win encounter.
Absolutely, Joe. We are inside Kudos Bank Arena. As you've seen, a beautiful day in the Harbour City as part of a big sporting weekend in Sydney. The Kings want to play their role in that by opening their account against the winless Breakers. Brad Rosen, hello to you. Both teams, we expect them to be desperate, and as a result, we look to their point guards to spark better form. Let's start with Sydney's. Kendrick Davis, 21 points against Cairns in the season opener, but from 27 shots. What are you looking for that man today?
Well, good evening and good evening everyone as well. Yes, he had 21 points. His first half was really good with 15, but then it got stale in the second half and we can see it there, 27 shots for the 21 points. Now, he, as everyone else would know, that's not good enough, and that's something they're going to have to change today because it was very stagnant in that second half.
1 of 7 from three-point land as part of a terrible outside shooting display from the Kings. You want to analyse this, though?
Yeah, look, it's the end of the third quarter, but you just look at the movement here from the Kings, and there is none. Now, right now, this is where you should be running plays, but everyone's standing around. He'll take 2 or 3 dribbles to his right and literally shoots over 3 players. That is where those 27 shots, a lot of those were like that, which we call against the muscle. That's where they struggled last week. They need more ball movement, and they need the ball to do the work.
There's his opposite, Parker Jackson Cartwright, 3rd year of NBL, first year, averaged more than 20 points per game. Last season, let's call it 19 points per game. How's he going to get back to those heights this season?
Look, he's had a bit of injury prone this first start of the season, but you look at what he's like. This guy is a superstar of our league, averaged 18 points or 19 really last year. He's only at 13 in this arena. He loves it. He has had a 34-point game here and he averages 21. I'm expecting him to bounce back tonight and really take this New Zealand team to what will be a very close game.
Good atmosphere inside the arena already, and part of the reason for that is they've got a milestone to celebrate. We love congratulating players, and Joe, there's a big milestone coming for a key Sydney King.
There certainly is, guys. Sean Bruce playing game number 350. He's one of the Kings' favourite sons. He's a 2-time NBL champion with the club. Now, he started his career with the Cairns Taipans in 2012. He then went to the Bullets and the Adelaide 36ers, but he's been in the Harbour City now for 6 years and some change. I spoke to a couple of his teammates before the game. They told me he was Mr. Reliable, a great role model, a fierce competitor, and he was also voted the best trash talker in the league a couple of seasons back. So he's the kind of guy you want on your team.
13th season, Joe, hasn't it been a ride from Cairns to Brisbane to Adelaide, and now the longest serving current King in his 7th season as all professional athletes. He's had to navigate some challenges along the way, but has done so superbly. Now, when it comes to the visitors, the team that Sean Bruce will have to counter, they're imports. Isaiah Brockington and Robert Baker will both start. Baker into the run-on 5.
Like that move. He's long, he's very big, and he can play the floor. But it's Isaiah Brockington that I think really needs to shoot. This guy is a 24-year-old shooting guard. He's a standout in college, and he got some taste in the NBA, ironically, against the Pelicans, who played last night against the Melbourne United. But you look here with the minutes, I see both of them needing to raise, which I think will then put the points per game. These two imports, along with PJC, the 3 combo really need to go to work tonight, and I'm expecting them to do so. It is going to be a beauty, Matty.
That man, Brockington, Brockington just one game with the Pills. It's where he wants to get back to. There's their starting five. Jackson Cartwright, Lopez, Brockington and Baker both starting, and Sam Menenga there as well. When it comes to the Kings, they are unchanged from the five that went out first up and got beaten ultimately by the Cairns Taipans. Our referees tonight, James Google, Chris Reed, Ruben Woolcock. We are set for Game 3, Round 3. Hungry Jacks, NBL 26. Two winless teams very keen to open their accounts today. A Saturday doubleheader for you. We're off to Brisbane after this. But in the Harbour City first up, it's the Kings and the Breakers as Hungry Jacks NBL 26 continues. The tip falling for a very relaxed-looking Parker Jackson Cartwright. Numbers down over the first 3 games compared to his first 2 seasons, but there's plenty of time to make good there.
Well, I like that first play. They're going straight to their import, straight to Isaiah Brockington. He comes off a little handoff for Meninga. Not a really hard move, but just nice little floater. He gets one on the arm and he goes to the free throw nice and early. And as someone that, Matty, if you haven't, the ball hasn't been dropping as much as you like, being able to get that first play, get that first one to now drop, this is exactly what he would have wanted, and his coach, of course, right there, would be very happy.
The foul called on Tim Suarez, back for a second season as a Sydney King, interrupted by time overseas, and Isaiah Brockington makes both. Off a 19-minute output against Perth, 5 points, 2 of 5, and a couple of rebounds, so not exactly huge numbers in his third game as a breaker. Isaiah Brockington, does he find better form? Along with Baker. For the time being, it's Davis playing for a foul on Meninga, not getting the call. And it's Jalen Galloway shooting unsuccessfully first up. Brockington kicks it back outside for Meninga. Brockington, that one significantly short, cleaned up by Galloway, and then he forces the foul on Karim Lopez.
Well, that was a nice look. It was just very short for the last 2 threes, actually, but Galloway got the rebound there, and it was actually a good foul because the Kings had raced, and that was a wide-open layup if he was able to pass it.
Head-to-head, the Kings lead this matchup 41-35. In this arena, they're ahead 12-6. And last season, it was the Kings 2-1 against the Breakers. They dropped the first game, in fact. That was in Sydney. They won the Kings, the 2 in New Zealand, though. So there's the head-to-head numbers as Dellavedova puts the spin move on Jackson Cartwright, but can't find the hole.
Well, that's what they struggled with last week. There was about 6 seconds left there, and Kendrick Davis had the shot, and he probably should have taken that. It kicked out to Delhi. Everyone else was standing around. It was dribble. It was the right shot that he had to take because the 24-second shot clock, but it didn't hit the ring, and that's why they now get the ball back.
Brockington, involvement early for Isaiah. Now Jackson Cartwright hunts down low, goes outside. Meninga can't hit the 3, and that will be off Lopez. Kings ball. The Breakers come here having been beaten by 9 points first up, then 32. A real collapse against Melbourne. They're off an 11-point defeat against the Wildcats. So double-figure results against them in the rearview mirror as the scrap on the floor will force a jump ball. Possession arrow is in favour of the home team.
Both teams getting decent looks here. They're just not dropping. I thought that was a nice move and a good bounce pass by Kendrick Davis, but it was just to his feet, so he couldn't get it properly, Suarez, but they get the ball with 13 seconds left on the 24-second shot clock.
Delhi with the baseline inbound for Davis, guarded by Brockington. The pass for Jalen Galloway, 0 of 2, the rebound Meninga. Even though it's been a tough venue for the Breakers here in Sydney, they have won their last 2 games at Kudos Bank Arena. You see the assignment for Jackson Cartwright, guarded here by Galloway, giving away such size, trying to beat him with speed and agility. Meninga outside, Baker for 3.
Well, just good offense from New Zealand. They're letting the ball do the work right there. PJC came off, gave it to Meninga, and a beautiful pass to the corner. And this is what I'd like to see Cookie do more. There is a foul. He needs to get the ball. He took 8 shots last week, and he's very effective from around that elbow area. Here's PJC, goes to work, and here's Meninga. Corner pass to Baker, who knocks the 3 down in what was a great offensive set.
But as the Kings go to the line, how significant is that for Rob Baker to be coming off the bench previously? Coach Kopp said you're starting tonight. He hits his first shot from a corner 3.
Well, it's just great to get those minutes and be able to drop. I'm not sure if there was some injury or something, but I look at this guy and think he would be brought in my thought, to be able to be a starter and play significant minutes. I mean, you look at him, the way he stands on this floor, and I'd only seen him on TV so far, but when he walked into this gym, the length of him is just unbelievable. So he could change shots, get rebounds, and do a great job for them, and there's one right there.
Cooks misses both free throws. There's a couple at the line. Do they go back to Baker here? He's played extensively in the G League, Slovakia, Puerto Rico, Japan, Germany, and finds his way down under. Great pass. Fumbled though by Meninga, and they've signalled Kings possession.
Well, at the moment, New Zealand have done a good job where they've slowed the Sydney Kings down. They've had no offensive sets where it's off the dribble so much. It's all coming half court. There's a good backdoor.
And there's first points for Sydney after 3 minutes. 5 block becomes 5-2. A much-needed pressure reliever from the fingertips of Kendrick Davis. After their offensive struggles in game 1 against Cairns. Parker Jackson Cartwright trying to play distributor. The pass was misguided. Brockington no chance, and they turn it over.
Well, that was good help there. I think it was Jalen Galloway in the corner there. Parker Jackson Cartwright looked like he was going to get that shot, but it was a good help, and that made him have to pass the ball, which he threw out of bounds.
Cooks brings them into the front court. Davis kicks it out. Jalen Galloway, 3rd time unlucky. As Jalen goes 0 of 3. Davis left all alone. You can't do that to Kendrick Davis.
Well, they shot 4 of 28 last week, and it wasn't good from the 3-point line, but that one is just way too open. They're 1 of 4 so far tonight on the back of that Kendrick Davis 3.
Now Karim Lopez trying to go back at them. Hard off the rim, and the clean-up by Dellavedova. Davis, after finishing at Adelaide, went and spent time in China with the Nanjing Monkey Kings. Delhi, his pass meant for Cooks. And as we've seen so often, he scraps for the ball unsuccessfully.
Great defense by Lopez, just so long. The next star got right up there as he goes PJC, and another great pass. And Meninga gets the 2 on the back of PJC.
He's a great facilitator, Parker Jackson Cartwright. Averaging 7 assists this season, and at the other end, that'll get Galloway going.
Well, that's what he needs. He's not renowned for his 3-point shooting, but he can shoot the 3. But as someone of a player of his caliber, he just needs to get some looks, gets to the ring, and that'll get everything flowing. And then you'll watch the 3 will be able to drop much better.
Brockington catches the rim, and the rebound goes to Cooks. I'll be keen to match Sydney on the glass at least. Davis, step back. Was it a little push-off, no whistle, and 2 more points for Kendrick.
Well, the difference for the Kings in the last few possessions is that they've been able to get the ball off the ring and run. Now, Xavier Cooks is very good at being able to get it off the glass and go, and that's what's happened the last few times.
Jackson Cartwright, little scoop shot, tough basketball, and Parker finds a way to get it done.
Oh, these point guards, they're going to go at it all night. This is going to be 40 glorious minutes, Matty.
What did Damon make him, the president or chairman of his Little Big Man Society? Here's Galloway, who boasts plenty of height. All of a sudden, he's found his shooting range.
Well, that's the bit I'm talking about, Matty. He gets to the rim, he lays it up, he sees it go through, it drops, he feels better, and then the 3 feels much better that time right there, and he knocks it down. Great for Jalen Galloway.
Davis almost forcing a turnover. There were the 2-point guards face-to-face. Karim Lopez loping down the keyway. He kicks it out for Baker, and the rebound falling for Parker Jackson Cartwright. Lopez reloaded.
You can't give up offensive rebounds. Kendrick Davis putting his hand up there, but that was good defence by the Kings, but bad boxing out, and you just cannot give up those offensive rebounds as we have mass substitutions.
Joe Healy, what do you got for us?
Yeah, the Kings will be happy with this start, guys. Brian Goorjian said the group were really disappointed, obviously, to drop their first game last week. He said it was a bitter pill to swallow. However, he was happy with their effort and defensive intensity. It's just the shots that weren't dropping against Cairns. Now, they've been on the practice court this week, continuing to work on their chemistry. They're obviously a new look side, so expect them to keep being more aggressive in this one. They only got to the line 5 times in that game.
Joe, they shot the ball at 37% against Cairns, including a horrendous 4 of 28 from outside. Already today, they're above 55% shooting, dropped a couple of early threes, so it looks like the week of hard work, something you'd know nothing about, Brad, has paid off.
I resemble that remark, Matty.
Davis. Low out there for the Breakers now. Nice in his face. Suarez showing some moves for a big man. PJC probing again, running into tall timber. Here's Tarangi. Low, able to check his feet. Suarez got there just in time. And now Isaiah Liafa, the ex-King, who had a tough shooting season on this floor, in fact, across the league as a King last year, comes away empty on that possession.
Hit 4 threes in last week's game, Matty, you're right, and it was a really good show by him.
Now Suarez, again, putting the opposition in the spin cycle and coming away with points. PJC finds an open Ruben Tarangi. Hard off the iron, and Suarez tip falls for Kendrick Davis.
11 shots for New Zealand, 9 of them from the 3, as Kendrick Davis goes right down low.
Athleticism at its best.
Well, this guy's the leader. He's the head of the snake, and don't the ownership group love it right there? But he has been outstanding in the first half last week, and there he shows it as well this week. That was just a beautiful crossover move. Look at him here. Puts him in the cycle. Oh, there it is. Up goes under. Isaiah Liafa fouls, and 1 for Kendrick Davis.
It was as if he was running across a freeway, dodging traffic, finding the other side safely. Doesn't Paul Smith like cheering shots like that, sitting beside Chris Pongrass, the King CEO. You saw him a moment ago, and there's very much part of the pyramid of power here at the Kings, veteran coach Brian Goorjian. Desperate for better than they had in NBL 25, and they finished 16-13, eliminated in the play-on game, or play-in game, by Adelaide. Tarangi just muscles his way to a shot. Then a little look at Kwapnoi afterwards as well.
Well, the coach of New Zealand, he's not happy with the way they've played. He's got his whole starters on the bench. The whole bench is on right now. So obviously he's not happy with that 2 of 9 3-point shooting and the intensity that they're playing at.
Davis behind the back for Kwapnoi. All it needed was the finish. At least Noi gets his rebound. Now Cooks, he can't finish. That last play by Ruben Tarangi wouldn't look out of place on the rugby league field. Big weekend of footy in the Harbour City. NRL Grand Final day as you look at Xavier Cooks swat that one away. And yeah, Ruben Tarangi, he'd look at home across the road tomorrow, you reckon, the way he plays physically sometimes.
Oh, it's going to be an amazing grand final. But, Brett, I like what he's been doing. He's come on and he's given them some energy. He won't worry about that. You just want to keep shooting, as Isaiah Liafa did the same thing there. And
Tossed
Rob Lowe, he
ball.
can knock this down.
Maybe next time.
Yep. Well, that's 2 of 10 now from the 3-point line. Bull Qual with the ball here.
The Kings didn't have one block against Cairns. They've got one courtesy Xavier Cooks, and what a play it was. The home team having trailed 5-0 early, get ahead 19-14 with 80 seconds left in the first.
Well, this would be good for this man to get to the free throw line. There's been a lot of talk. He had a very injury-prone season last year. He was the big off-season signing when he came from Cairns, can shoot the ball really well. He's renowned for his defense, and Brian Goorjian said he was happy with the way he played last week. They only gave up 77 points, but they couldn't knock the shots down. This man is a guy that can change the game. If he knocks his threes down, he will be up and in on defense.
Bull Kual, Olympian with South Sudan, as Talangi forces the foul on Kwatnoi. Just back to Bull Kual, the Kings Defensive Player of the Year last year. A soccer star as a kid who had a growth spurt and said, I might change a different sport or try a different sport.
Didn't work all right.
The NBL is glad he did.
Man, if you want hungry chats, you know what to do.
Big event. The second leg tomorrow in Melbourne. The NBA, NBL Melbourne games. On outside Rod Laver Arena, you'll find the Bounce Nation. That's a great experience.
How good was
But of
that
course,
last night, Matty?
last night was brilliant. There are limited tickets left to see Southeast Melbourne against the New Orleans Pelicans tomorrow. Don't miss your chance. Scan the QR code if it pops up again, and head to nbl.com.au/NBA.
I'll tell you what, Milton Doyle wouldn't look out of shape in an NBA team the way he played last night. He was outstanding.
Bruce onto the floor in game 350. Misses with his first attempt. From Horsham to the Harbour City, can he be a hero tonight, Sean Bruce, as he often has for the Kings across those 7 seasons? Rebound Dellavedova. Here's Xavier Cooks. I heard a great chat with Sean Bruce on the NBL Now podcast, speaking with Peter Hooley. Special mention to Aaron Fern, the former Cairns coach, who saw a glint of potential in Sean Bruce and said, you better come up here and have a trial, and the rest is history. Actually went to watch him playing more local or closer to home, and Aaron Fern said, Sean, come and have a crack at the NBL.
Don't you love that?
All
Yeah.
these seasons, 13 years, 350 games later, here he is.
Yeah, I listened to Hools there, and even Sean just said that it was, you know, like, oh, just come up, have a training, see how it goes. And like you said, 350 games later, it's outstanding. There's always someone in someone's playing group that is like that. For me, it was an ex-NBL player in Cliff Martin, played for Launceston, and that was the guy that sort of gave me that time. And of course, Bob Turner giving me my first time in the NBL, so it felt like I understood what Sean was saying there, and you always feel that, and it's so nice for him to say that. But what an outstanding career he's had.
Family, friends, here to support Sean Bruce, including son Rocky, who still wears Sean's singlet, he said, during the week. That's cool.
I love how he said it might be Dave moving on, and that's not going to count.
Shot clock expires as we hit the end of the first quarter. Time up on the New Zealand Breakers on that possession, and the Kings, after a flat beginning, get ahead 22-15 thanks to Choice Hotels, the home team by 7 as we hit the first break. G'day, Scott.
Good afternoon. How are you, sir?
Scotty.
Matt Russell and Brad Rosen and Joe Healy here. How are you, Scott?
Good, thank you. How's everyone today?
All good, mate.
Beautiful on the Harbour City. It's a stunning day.
Actually, it was quite nice here in Melbourne for once.
Hey, hang on. It's only the afternoon, mate. Anything can happen.
No dramas in the first quarter, Scott.
No, it's
all
good
plain
so far.
sailing.
Yeah, it's all good so far. And I'm happy to have a sleep too, so if they can just keep it that way, that'd be nice. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, mate.
Your Sydney Kings dance crew. All right, happy birthday to all our members on the big screen, and a shout out to Isaiah, Nicholas, Lourdes, JP.
This is the Hungry Jacks NBL rookie round. The Breakers are trailing the Kings by 7 points at quarter time. Petri Covenant wants his players to be more aggressive on the glass, no second chances. He said they need to pay attention to the 1%ers, box out, get in the lanes. He's trying to fire his guys up. He said they don't respect us, let's make them pay.
Well, I hope the Breakers respect Kendrick Davis. Flipping it on its head there, Joe, because Kendrick's had 10 points in the first quarter, 100% shooting. We know his shooting struggles against Cairns last weekend. Well, not today. And if he gets going and is allowed to freewheel, that could do some real damage on the New Zealanders, as Karim Lopez could do on Sydney. Galloway with a miss. And eventually, off the fingertips of Noi, the putback falls.
Well, Malawatch came over the top there with a tip. I love this young kid. Watch him, he's energetic. He'll get up and down, and this team right here is a small playing five with Xavier Cooks. They go inside and do a good job, but watch him go now. This will be off to the races and kick the ball up.
Galloway, I want to get your reaction to Coach Skopinen's comments in a moment, Brad, as Dellavedova from long range. No joy. Does he really think that Sydney don't respect the Breakers, or just trying to garner some
no question. He's trying to fire his team up, and that's right. When you shoot, well, what was 16 shots and 10 of those are from the three-point line, you're settling. He wants to get inside and be able to move the ball round and get movement, so no question he's trying to fire him up.
Malawatch from the corner, if you don't mind.
Played 3 minutes last week, felt he could have got more. He's just one of those guys that every time he comes on, he gives them something. He's already crashed the glass twice. One of those, he was able to get the ball back, knocks a three down, just does a great job.
Won Brian Goorjian's Coach's Award last season, so the man leading the bench respects Malawatch. 27-18 early minutes, second quarter.
That is a great block from Sam Meninga. You look at this, Delhi's done everything. He puts his body into him. Delhi does exactly right, protects the ball, but just good timing by Meninga.
Galloway and Delhi. The skip pass finding Kwatnoi. He can't make it go. Denies Delhi another dime as Parker Jackson Cartwright misses, and the rebound strong in the air. Jalen Galloway. Great to see him back from that shoulder surgery that ended last season way too short.
Well, I am liking this pace from both teams. PJC pushing it up, the Kings pushing it up.
Baker!
That's another three down. This is an up and down game, Matty.
No Butcher, but we have a Baker and we have a shot maker, Bradley.
You've been practicing that all week, haven't you?
Now Brockington.
Well, that's just not good from Malawatch here. He's got to be able to come back. That was a bad turnover by the Kings. But he makes up for it by going to the hoop here, but you just got to be cautious. New Zealand pushed up the floor, and you just can't give those easy twos away.
Yeah, big couple of possessions by the Breakers before that. Malawatch on the Amy replay, off to the line. In his third year at Sydney after starting his NBL journey at United. Sydney born, but Armidale raised. Watch Malawatch, now a 27-year-old. Spent time in the college system at the University of New Mexico. His 62nd NBL game. Play to watch for the Kings. He might not get a lot of talk and a lot of attention, but as Brian Goorjian can attest, having given him his Coach's Award last season, he can play an important role for the purple team.
No question.
Meninga on the arc. Jackson Cartwright, shot clock inside 5 here. Karim Lopez. Parker will have to shoot the ball unsuccessfully. Soft rebound for Dellavedova, who finds Galloway on the move. From one end to the other, the Sydney Kings, high-paced offense.
Well, that's what they need from Galloway. You look at this team now, Delhi's running the point, but they're 6'4", 6'5", upwards everyone else. PJC just hasn't been able to knock it down, but he does there. And every time they're able to knock it down, it does slow Sydney's offense, so it's really coming from that side.
So he goes to 4 points, 2 of 4 shooting. Does have 3 assists, Jackson Cartwright, and now a foul will be called on Baker.
Well, that's better from Quatnoy. He settled for the 3 a couple of times. It hasn't dropped, and it didn't drop last week either. So Quatnoy 1 of 4 from the field at the moment, 0 of 2 from the 3, so he tries to get himself to the basket to try and get a simple one for him.
Kendrick Davis. Guarded by Baker. Can Kendrick shake Baker? No, good D. Davis kicks it out, and Sean Bruce fills it up.
That is outstanding defense by New Zealand, and Baker especially. And Sean Bruce, that's a tough 3 to make. There's a lot of standing around from the Kings, but it worked that time.
Up to 5 points in game 350. Here's Besto for Menenga, who is very capable from that range and reminds us so. 32-28. The arena falls silent. Almost eerie at the moment, Brad.
It is very quiet in here.
Their crowd, the Kings crowd, willing Davis and their team to kick clear. Suarez, nice touch to make sure possession stays with Sydney. Now they'll make some noise. Unfortunately, Sean Bruce, for them, can't finish. Jackson Cartwright. Brockington. Menenga for back-to-back triples. That one's short. And Roy fights for the loose ball. So the rebound 17-14 in favour of the Kings. But the shooting deserting Sydney for the time being. The Breakers have lost the last 11 when they've lost the rebound count. Jackson Cartwright with another miss and another clean-up defensively by the Kings. So they haven't been able to capitalise the Breakers on a shooting hole here for Sydney. It's been missing at both ends.
Well, it is both ends, but I'll talk about the Kings at the moment. This is where they struggled last week. It was a lot of one out. Now, you look at this one here, that was great defense. That's a good knockdown for the 350th NBLer. But I just feel at the moment it's all one out stuff, and that is not something that is in favour of Sydney Kings. Well, it certainly wasn't last week. They've got to move that ball. New Zealand look to be getting better shots. They're just not knocking down at the moment.
Jackson Cartwright for a moment on an island. He gets the ball back via Tarangi. Drives the lane and finishes. Parker Jackson Cartwright. He must look up and see nothing but chests and arms and hands, and finds a way to thread the eye of the needle.
Amazing, absolutely.
Davis with Leafa getting there in time. They rotate the ball for Suarez, and his shot jumps out. Rebound, Leafa. So just a shot in it inside the final 5 of this first half. Besto gives it plenty of air. In fact, nothing but air, and a quick turnover by Sydney. Besto finding an open Isaiah Leafa. Another shot way off target.
They had an open air game.
Is there a door open in here, Bradley?
Wow, I've never seen so many hairballs in a possession. Yeah, timeout's called here by the Sydney Kings, and rightly so. It's a little bit rough at the moment for both teams trying to put the ball in the hole, but they're getting some okay shots.
Okay, Kings fans, it's now time for the Andy Safe Drive
For this week's Kmart Game Time highlights, Tanner Krebs locked in on defence at the Elstonwick Primary School, swatting away shots, protecting the paint, doing it all. Let's hope he brings the same defensive intensity on the defensive end when he next plays. A big thanks to Kmart for the incredible support of the NBL's Game Time program. Tanner Krebs enjoying his time against the New Orleans Pelicans last night.
Wasn't he? What? Tell you what, a couple of big threes. Block that young kid. Oh, Tanner. But no, I love what the players do. They're always great with their time and did a really good job, and those programs are outstanding.
There's a young bloke called Zion Williamson that sort of stood out a little bit, Jimmy Brad, in 15 minutes.
He did all right. Wasn't he great with the crowd and everyone? Big smile on his face. And he came out this week and said it is the second best league in the world. And don't we all agree with that?
I just hope the Pelicans are paying him, that's all.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Game 2 tomorrow, Southeast against New Orleans. See it at Rod Laver Arena. Great scenes last night. Sold out crowd. The biggest names in world basketball. Some of them anyway on show. And look at Suarez put his name up in lights. Tim Suarez, Brazilian.
Well, that's the type of stuff we were talking about. Look at the ball movement. Xavier Cooks went middle here, and you'll see he goes, and then there's the handoff, and Suarez, he says, I'm going to hand it off. No, I'm not, and goes back door and throws it down. There was 3 or 4 passes before that possession that had to make New Zealand's defense move, and that's the key here. If they're all standing around, the defense stands around, and it makes it much harder.
He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in his time in the college system. There he is, showing us his offense. Part of NBL23 at the Kings, and here's Kalangi looking for the soft finish and the putback. No, Davis has it. Keenly fought in this first half. Neither team able to get away. 2.5 left before the big break, and Cooks leaves a couple out there again. Taylor Brits. Plenty of New Zealand NBL success for Taylor as Le'Arthur lets rip. Less said the better. So Dellavedova goes at Menenga. Can't finish. Isaiah Brockington, one-on-one with Davis. Isaiah up the glass.
Well, that's what he did in the pre-season tournament in Canberra, where he was the MVP of that tournament. He was in the open court, and he just saw Kendrick Davis and said, this is me. And he took off a beautiful layup over the rim.
So a Tangerine timeout at 34-32 in favour of the Kings. 1:51 left in the first half. You know by now, Supercoach is back. A bit different this year. Beat the Coach, presented by Choice Hotels. $5,000 cash, a $5,000 Choice Hotels gift voucher as well. Both up for grabs, along with weekly prizes as well. So get involved. Take on the Supercoach now. Presented by Choice Hotels. Speaking of Supercoaches, we're looking at one right here. Brian Gorgin.
Look, he's done an outstanding job with any team he ever goes to. You know that. A lot of changes in the off-season, especially when you look at that backcourt, that man right there. Kendrick Davis, Matthew Dellavedova. Brian Gorgin told me at the launch that he has never seen an import. Now, this is a big statement because Brian Gorgin has had some unbelievable imports in his career as a coach, but he's never seen an import work as hard as what Kendrick Davis does.
It's called the washing machine.
The man against Kendrick Davis, Parker Jackson Cartwright, left on the bench to finish this second quarter. He's had 21 points plus in his last 4 against the Kings, Parker, but today scoring has been a bit tougher. 3 of 6, he's camped on 6 points, the 3 assists to go with those points. So New Zealand rolling with Karangi, Brockington, Britt, Le'Arthur and Menenga. Davis and Delhi through Cooks. Plenty of touches. Ball movement here by the Kings. Cross court for Suarez from Delhi. Davis has to go just inside the clock. He finds the rim in time. Dellavedova, no joy. And Cooks.
Yeah, that's going to be on foul. Yeah, that's going to be on Xavier Cooks over the back. He hit him in the head. Again, some good looks by the Kings. They're just not knocking them down. 4 of 16 from the three-point line.
You identified some static offense at times from the Kings in game 1 against Cairns. What are you seeing tonight? Have they improved in that regard generally?
Look, generally, I guess the answer is yes, but no at times. Like, the ball is just very standing around and pushing the ball. You look at New Zealand here. Everyone's moving, which makes the defense move as well. And then you gave these looks down low. That's what I've liked with New Zealand. They get from the ball from one side to the other, and it moves the defense. The Kings, when they've done that, and you saw with Tim Suarez got that dunk, it goes from the one side. If you're just going to keep taking it off the bounce and getting these hard baskets, you're going to struggle, Matty.
That's a second foul for Tim Suarez late in this first half.
Well, you need to get him out. You don't want him to get his third. You see Cotnoy just come to the bench right now. I would assume it's for him.
So the Breakers, Lopez and Liafa sitting with 2 fouls each. No player with more than 2. Menenga can't hit the free throw. 34-32. Hungry Jacks. The restaurant is open, courtesy Sam Menenga. The code is dribbles. Brad dribbles every time I mention Hungry Jack. And likewise, he salivates at shots from Kendrick Davis. Coach Coppenden calls a timeout with 39 seconds left in the first half.
I'm not
Brian Gorgon just making his point there to Ruben Woolcock. And still the discussion goes on.
All right, special welcome to Team Mayhem.
As Joe touched on off the top, Sean Bruce celebrating game 350 with. Mentioned some of the highlights along the way. You go way back to 2012 at the Taipans, roll into Brisbane, later Adelaide, and then in his 7th season at Sydney. 350 games.
Well, it's just a player that has worked hard. And he would say the same here. That's the one where I love this one, where he knocks it down and says good night in front of the ownership group. You look at him lifting the trophy here. The one thing that I can say about Sean and speaking to the players around the league, there isn't a person that doesn't love him, and that's the sign. You can be the best player in the world, or whatever it matters, but it's what your teammates say. And for him, everyone, you speak to his teammates, especially here in Sydney, but I'm sure around the league as well, there isn't a guy that has a bad word to say about him. Yes, he loves his trash talking, and you want him on your side, but it's a huge congratulations to him, and what an outstanding career he has had and will continue to have.
A couple of championships here at the Kings. He's off a New Zealand NBL championship in preparation for this campaign as well.
He's a winner.
And I had a chuckle when he said, yeah, son Rocky still likes wearing a singlet, and he's chuffed by that as Jackson Cartwright shows his speed. When did your boys and daughter stop wearing your singlet, Bradley?
The day I started playing. That was huge by PJC. That was very ordinary defense there. I think it was Bull Quoll. You just can't allow that. He hasn't shot the ball well, so you need to give a little gap, but a wide open layup is not what should be happening, especially after a timeout, man.
Shot out of a gun, Davis. Oh, yes. Stepping his way off the glass with one to come, Kendrick Davis. Up to 14 points for the game on 6 of 11 shooting.
Well, that's his 3rd foul, but we spoke about the point guard in PJC. But Kendrick Davis says, anything you can do, I can do as well. We said these two matching up will be great. 14 points.
Yep.
Okay, they did call that slightly different. I thought it was they did call it on Menenga, which was his 3rd. It's now on Tarangi, so that's only his 1st, and Menenga does not have the 3.
Kendrick Davis, 2 trips to the strip and 2 free throws made.
Well, interesting. Obviously, Coach Coppenden, yeah, he's not happy with what happened there. Obviously, offensively, he'd be happy with PJC getting the layup, but disappointed. They've obviously got a plan for that man right there, Kendrick Davis. It didn't work. He got a layup and one. and he's had a timeout, not happy.
Brad, how big a game is this for New Zealand? I know they finished 9th last season, 10-19. They are 0-3. We're very early in a slightly longer season, so there is time to make up ground. But at 0-3, how big do you describe today as being for the visiting team?
Massive. No team wants to go 0-4, but you're right. It's more games this year. It's not something to worry about. You look at what South East Melbourne did last year and even Illawarra the year before. It's certainly not panic stations, but you just don't want to put that pressure on yourself. This coach had them in first spot after I think it was 7-2 last year, but then a few changes were made. You saw what happened and their season derailed. New owners have come in, you know, new imports are around, you get a couple of new coaching staff, so they would have been looking forward to a very, very good game right now.
The Mitsubishi Motors 3-point leaders. No surprise to see that man on top, Bryce Cotton. What a start he's made at his new club, Adelaide. 39 points into 28 points. Rain Smith and Milton Doyle with 10 each. Milton Doyle leading Melbourne scoring against New Orleans.
Bryce Cotton only two games, though.
2 games. Yeah. So we go Adelaide, Cairns, Melbourne United. That is the podium, each with 10.
Every time I watch Flash, I think, can he get any better? And he does.
Yeah.
He just keeps getting better and better. Let's see what play Coach Coppinen has done out of this timeout.
Baker. One of the imports that Brad just touched on. Now Bairstow, the youngest of the 3 Bairstow boys to play in the NBL, and that will do us for the first half. The Sydney Kings out by 5. They trailed 5-lot early. They've had patches of great offense. The performance not perfect, but it's good enough to lead it. 39-34 halftime. Game 3, Hungry Jacks NBL in this round 3. Let's get over to Joe alongside Jalen Galloway.
Thanks, Matty. JG, talk me through that first half. You kept them to 34 points. Defensively, what's the mindset out there?
Just hold their main guys. You know, Brockton, PJC, we know how tough they are. So just limit them as much as possible, limit their touches, and yeah, make sure we box out too. What about at the offensive end? It feels like you guys are being more aggressive. Are there any adjustments you want to make in the second half? Just trying to get everybody some touches, more free-flowing, try to touch the paint, and go from there. Good luck for the rest of it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Well, there is still a half to play here at Kudos Bank Arena. It's been a tense encounter so far. What can we expect in the second half? Find out next. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Fraser, well done, mate. He's from New Zealand. He's playing for a visa. How do you feel about that? Oh, mate, I'm ready to go. Go the All Blacks, go the Breakers. All right, there you go. So if you win, you get a visa. If you win, you get a slap of beer. All right. That's the way it works. We got our mascots as well. It's a challenge. They have to dribble the ball to the baseline. Off you go, to the baseline. They have to dribble the ball through the dancers. They're going to do a layup at the other end. Then they're going to come back, shoot a 3 points, and then free throw. First to do that wins the Grand Tasman Cup. All right, I want all the Australians in the crowd to support our Aussie athlete right now. Where are all the New Zealand fans? Where are you? Make some noise. Okay, there's a bit of support there. Well, instead of counting it down, we're going to do it with a Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. All right, let's kick it off. Let's go, guys. We're going to count down. Stay there. No false starts. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. They go through for the dribble. No, Australia. He's going very well at the moment. Oh, Australia. Well done. New Zealand. Look at him go through. Look at him go. It needs to be 3 points. Oh, no, this could get dangerous. 3 points. New Zealand not giving up. Oh! Drop, still measure, he's not for the, here we go. No. All right, yes.
We've got nothing in our ear.
Yeah, thanks. And then it's
There we go.
then it's PJC after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Australia a big cheer.
Hey guys, you got us, jury?
Yes, yeah, gotcha.
Your kids when you grow up, you represented Australia. Well done, mate. Well done. All right, here is James, our winner. Off he goes to claim a prize. He just doesn't want to leave. All right.
Welcome back. It is halftime here at Kudos Bank Arena. The Sydney Kings are leading the New Zealand Breakers 39-34. Both teams are looking for their first win of the season. It's tense out there. Brad Rosen, talk me through that first half.
Well, I think both teams would be fairly happy with the way they've played. I think there's times when they could think to themselves, offensively, we haven't been able to drop the ball, but defensively, I think both teams have been fairly good. If I'm the Sydney Kings, I'm going in there and I'm saying, just move the ball around. If I'm New Zealand, we're having good looks, crash the glass because we don't want to lose the rebound count and slow their transition down, and we'll walk away with a win.
Are there a few nerves out there from both teams, do you think?
I think there always is when you haven't won a game. Now, I know it's only one for the Sydney Kings, but it's 3 for New Zealand. But Sydney are in their home, where New Zealand just want to get that win and get going. So, yes, I think there are some nerves.
Well, let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. Kendrick Davis, he was a little fatigued towards the end of the last game they played, but he's had a spark today.
He has, and he came out in the first half last week and did really well, and he's done the same here. I thought a couple of times he was just left to make a play where they stand around, but he's doing what Kendrick Davis does. It's a key now that they get to the second half and don't just go, righto, Kendrick, go and get us 30 or 40. You can't survive like that. Just keep working the ball from one side to the other. Give him the ball, let him go to work at late in clock if there's nothing else.
What is the message from Brian Goorjian at halftime? Obviously, you want to keep facilitating him, but you need to get his teammates free as well out there.
I think that's going to come from stops. If they're able to play on the defensive end, just get going. You look here, he shot 11 shots to get his 15 points, and he's shooting at a good clip. But if they can get some stops off the glass with Xavier and Jalen Galloway, that's where I think they run really well and get some open looks, and that'll really help them move.
KD's numbers there looking pretty good on the Blackmores player profiler. Talk me through the backcourt. We've got superstars across the court for both these teams. KD up against PJC.
Look, it's been mouth-watering and we expect it. What I've loved about this at Kendrick Davis is you look here, every time he's got some situations, he's able to come here. They double-team this really well, and look how he takes the ball to the right of our screen. Then he's able to give it to Suarez down low, and he's able to make a nice play. That's the different things of what good point guards do. They look to attract the double, retreat, pass the ball. That's nice offense from the Sydney Kings.
Speaking of good point guards, as we just mentioned, Parker Jackson Cartwright, he is a leader for this Breakers team. He looks a little frustrated there at times, but he's still a superstar and having a big impact.
I think he's been outstanding tonight. He's got 8 points, 3 assists, and there where it's coming. I just think the shot hasn't dropped like it normally does for him. But that is the only thing. He's pushed the ball well. He's making good decisions in the open courts. He's pulling up when he's supposed to. He's 1 or 2 threes away that he hasn't hit to be a really, really good game, and I'm expecting him to bounce and be better in the second half.
Well, this is the first of our Saturday doubleheader. Up next in Brisbane as the Bullets taking on the Tasmania Jack Jumpers, and we are joined now by 2 greats of the game, Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze. Guys, we're missing you down here. Talk us through the atmosphere out there.
Yeah, it's going to be great, Joe. What's up, Brad? Look, tonight we've got a game here, Tasmania versus Brisbane. It's the Bullets' home opener. But Andrew, a lot of injuries riddling both teams. Last minute out, Javon Freeman-Liberty to go with Casey Prather, Sam McDaniel, and Mitch Norton. How do the Bullets get this one?
Well, fortunately for them, I guess, is that the Jack Jumpers, they've got a few injury issues of their own, but Brisbane, it's just a real hard luck story. And if it's not for those injuries, we saw early on that they do have the capacity to compete with some of the better teams. And I think defensively is going to be a big part of what they do tonight. They've got to slow it down. They don't have the weapons. They're last in point bench scoring. So they're going to have to really pay attention to tempo to be competitive in this one.
And Tasmania coming to this one 2-1. What have you made of their early season form to date?
2 words, Bryce Hamilton.
Right.
If your name is Bryce, come down under and you are going to be a superstar because, gee, his form has been spectacular. They lost a real tight one to Melbourne United to open the season up. but their next 2 wins, spectacular on the road, and they're halfway through a long road stint. But that win last week against Illawarra, and before that to take on the Perth Wildcats and beat them in Perth. They are the real deal, and if they can remain remotely healthy, they are going to be one of the teams to beat.
Well, guys, that's it from here. Enjoy the second half down there in Sydney. And Brad, don't get too comfortable working by yourself.
Jury, I just wanted to ask you, is there any rumour that Derek said, I want to suit up there? Because I'm sure he would think he could still hoop.
Leave me alone.
Hey, right now, I don't doubt him. Look at him, he's in shape. He did 10 Ks this morning, or so he tells me. If he says he did 10, he did 3. That's how he operates.
I love that. Thank you, guys. Andrew Gaze, Derek Rucker, just a few NBL MVPs between the four of us.
And about 4 championships as well. But
exactly
yeah.
right. Exactly right. Anyway, we've still got the second half here to play at Kudos Bank Arena. It's the Sydney Kings leading the New Zealand Breakers 39-34. We'll be back with the second half after this. Matty, you got me?
Yep, got you, Joe.
Just wanted to say you're smashing it.
Thank you, Joe. Bit rusty, but bit rusty.
Good work, team.
Thank you. Thank you. Very kind, Joe. Third quarter about to start at Kudos Bank Arena in Sydney. Kendrick Davis, the only player to have double figures to halftime. 15 points on 6 of 11 shooting. We've had 8 lead changes through that first half. The Kings' biggest lead, 9. The Breakers' biggest lead, 5. That was 5-0 early. They've had to fight hard at times to scratch and claw to keep in contact with the Kings, but they've done so. There's the halftime break, and Coach Koppinen helped them come back in this second to go from 0-3 to 1-3. They crave their first win of the season, the New Zealanders. The Kings likewise. This game 2 of 3 straight home affairs to open NBL26 as Cooks finds a way to score first. He was 0 of 2 in the first half. There are his first points of the game, Brad.
Matty, I think, we spoke about it off air just before here, and you look at the shots, and Davis has taken 11, Galloway 7, Dellavedova 5, but the other 6 shots have just come from the other 2. So on this court at the moment, it's very guard orientated as Brockington misses it, but there's Baker. He's having a good game. Xavier Cooks needs to be more aggressive, not just when he gets the ball on the elbow, look opposite. He needs to get that ball and look to take it because they need more around the rim.
If you joined us late, Baker called into the starting 5. There are the 2 imports combining for the Breakers. First points post-half-time. A fumble there from Suarez. And New Zealand will see that door open a little further.
Well, Baker's got 8 points there, Matty, on 3 or 4 shooting to go with his 2 rebounds as well. He's been playing very well today.
No player with more than 2 fouls out of the first half. Menenga for Parker Jackson Cartwright. Pulls up, shoots the ball unsuccessfully, and now it's a fight for possession. Won by Menenga, who goes hard at Suarez and scores.
Well, you just got to box that out. Timmy Suarez just didn't put a body hard enough on Menenga, and this is what I'm talking about with Cooks. That's what he's got to be able to do. But on the other end, you can't give up those offensive rebounds. Great work by Sam Menenga.
Is this accidental post-halftime, or has Coach Gorgian been into the ear of Xavier and the Kings to try and bring him into the game a bit more?
Look, it's hard to say, Matty, because Xavier's one of those players where it's not in his DNA just to go get the ball and shoot and shoot and shoot. He's not like that. He's a very team-oriented player, and he waits for it to come to him. I think the difference is when he's aggressive and looking for his shot, that's when he's the Xavier Cooks that we saw MVP of this league. What we saw sometimes last season, and certainly the first 2 games this season, is he's looking for his point guards or off guards more, where when he's on, but he's missed 2 free throws as well.
He's missed 4 for the game, 0 of 4 at the stripe. Now, Karim Lopez. Cooks goes for the big swipe. Rebound taken by Suarez, and Cooks has to park those free throw misses and clear his head and get back to basketball here. Suarez. Galloway thought about passing to Dellavedova and instead draws a foul. In the act of shooting, in the eyes of,
well, he's
James
looking
Bagul.
He's looking at this assistant coaches. They're not going to challenge this, but you look at here, the block from Cooks. Nice move from Lopez, but good defensive assistance there off the glass.
Galloway with the miss now.
Well, that's 5 of 13 from the free throw line at the moment for the Kings, shooting 38%. You can't be giving those.
PJC. Menenga to Brockington. Isaiah pulls up, leaves that shot short, and Menenga can't get to the ball in time. Isaiah Brockington. Last game I mentioned 19 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 of 5 shooting, so I only took 5 shots, the American.
I just think we just expected more, Matty. With what we know his caliber, as I said, he was an outstanding college player. He played he's had 1 game with the Pelicans, as I mentioned, and then he came out and, we don't take a lot from the preseason blitz, but you see enough where, this guy's going to be a player, and I just expect we're waiting for that to happen right now.
St. Bonaventure, Penn State, Iowa State, you're right, good college career, and now Suarez. Kings by 7. Suarez to 9 points. Second most of the Kings behind Kendrick Davis. No breaker has more than PJC's 8 points. Menenga. Soft finish. Nice finish. Menenga to 10 points for the game. First breaker into double figures. Shooting at 50%. Davis puts it on the floor, probes baseline. Galloway from the corner fills up the 3.
Well, it wasn't much offense there, I should say. That didn't start till about 12 seconds. And Galloway, they haven't been falling, but they did that time. Nice shot.
Rebound Dellavedova. The first leg of a Saturday doubleheader of Hungry Jack's hoops. Next up, Brisbane, Tasmania. Joel Peterson, Andrew Gaze, Derek Rucker, Ariana Prather, your call team. Big game for the Bullets under man. They need a win. Here's Baker on the way to the rack and drawing the foul. Can't finish, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Well, I think we're going to see a challenge here. Brian Goorjian looked at his bench and they're not happy about the call. They don't think Dellavedova did anything wrong. A timeout's been called, and no, he's actually said he doesn't want it. He originally looked and they said yes, and now he's going back. And now we're going to have a timeout again. He's changed his mind again.
Coming into this game, Baker was 7 of 9 at the line.
Yeah, Brian Goorjian's not happy because he needed that information early. And like I said, he definitely called a timeout and the bench blew the whistle that, oh, he'd want that job, Matty.
Terrible, worst job in basketball. And Baker makes the back end. 48-42. I think it'd be a good job for you, Brad.
That would just be awful.
Imagine D-Ruck being the coach and you being in charge of the video review.
Oh, I'd just tell him to challenge so he looked silly. I'd be happy to do that one.
Davis pulled up. Now he fires. And Kendrick Davis goes to 18 points for the game. 7 of 12, 58% from the field. The shooting struggles against Cairns have finished here today. He was in the zone early, wasn't he, from the tip? This man, Kendrick Davis, finding Suarez. Finger roll finish. That's good basketball. That's Kendrick Davis for Tim Suarez. And the Sydney Kings out by 11 points, their biggest lead of the game.
Well, that came from poor offense from New Zealand. A big shot from Baker that was just taken a little bit too early. And then they all tried to get the offensive rebounds. It ended up going to Sydney, who got the defensive rebound, and Tim Suarez, who jumped out of bounds, threw it and made a layup down the other end.
Brad, last night I had to keep reminding myself that the New Orleans Pelicans were in Australia, in Melbourne. This showcased Victoria magnificently. Look at John Cain Arena, sold out as the Pelicans beat Melbourne 107-97. The game on the live deep into the fourth quarter. And yes, Zion Williamson, 15 points, 5 assists in his 15 minutes. 5 of 8 shooting, but there were plenty of stars on show last night, not just on the court.
Yeah, there's Jordan Poole there. I love this game. I could not get enough of it. I thought it was brilliant. The whole atmosphere, you could just feel it coming across. You look at the love that they got. I thought Milton Doyle, well, we know how he started this season. Don't forget that three-point line has gone to the NBA one, so it was even further out in the foot. A couple of the NBL guys had to get used to that. It was just an amazing game, and so happy for the way that ended.
And tomorrow, right outside Rod Laver Arena, Bounce Nation. Win great prizes, meet your favourite NBA, NBL, WNBL players. Scan the QR code on screen there or visit nbl.com.au/NBA for more info. I couldn't believe that the Pelicans flew out a travelling party of about 150.
Yeah.
They must have taken their high school friends.
Yeah, they brought everyone out there. But also want to say Ray Allen in commentary was brilliant.
Absolutely.
Seeing Kevin Garnett there. I mean, who would have thought this could happen in our league as Lopez gets fouled there from Tim Suarez? But yeah, just going back on that, just to see them, I thought it was just amazing. Aaron Baines in commentary, and I saw the pre-game with Abby Gelmy. Just the whole thing was just such a atmosphere and so great to be involved in.
Joe Healy, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. The Kings obviously starting to push away with this a little, so Coach Kopp there just using the timeout to halt the momentum. Sam Menenga and Parker Jackson-Cartwright showing great leadership in the huddle. Coach Kopp also just running them through a few sets just so that everybody is on the same page and they can start to work back the control here.
Yes, they need it, don't they, Joe? 0-3 coming here today. Their next 3 are all at Spark Arena. They go back home for a 3-game swing against the Hawks on Wednesday. Southeast Melbourne tomorrow week, Tasmania the following Friday. So the Hawks, Phoenix and Jack Jumpers ahead for the Breakers, who won't want to go back home 0-4. Now Davis. Bulkwall. That's off the mark. And Menenga can't pull in the ball. Sean Bruce does instead. The 78th man to gain 350 in 47 years of the NBL. The 78th to that big milestone. Davis, little step back. His shot is short as well, and Karim Lopez puts an end to that possession, only momentarily. Davis, the pickpocket, gets it back, and Karim says, bail me out, coach. Can you challenge something?
Well, he's looking at the coach, and the coach just does nothing with it. He's upset with the turnover, and rightly so. That's a poor turnover. It was a good defensive set by New Zealand, and then they just gave the ball back and gave this man a three-point play.
Davis to 20 points. Remember, he had 21 against Cairns in the season opener. He has that now. And we should say the young Mexican Karim Lopez, 18-year-old next star, still very much on a learning journey, learning path. Down for the NBA draft. He learned a lesson there. Packer Jackson Cartwright just steadies the ship for the Breakers. 10 the difference.
Just so easy for him to be able to do that little shake. What noise, just a little step off him, and PJC does what he does well and knocks it down.
Hunter Goodrick out there now for the Kings, the injury replacement player. We should mention the fact that there is no Lupepe or Spurgeon, but there is a Kendrick Davis, and there is no end to his scoring in sight. 9 of 15 now, 2 of 4 from outside. Lopez runs into traffic. Bruce falls away. No whistle. Lopez scores.
No, they've called it a flop as well.
Watnoy, tough shot. He forces the foul. It'll be called on Rob Lowe, I think you'll find.
Brian, please, no more from you on the bench.
Little warning for Brian Goorjian and the bench. Was that for the flopping call on Sean Bruce? They wanted a charging foul.
Yeah, I think they are. When you look here, and we'll just see this replay. I thought it was the right call when I looked. Whoa. Hard to say.
Is that one that if it went either way, you wouldn't complain too much about?
Yeah, that is exactly it. The one thing I always remember what referees say as a timeout's being called here, and I'm not sure if they can challenge this, Matty, but the one thing I always say is, does the contact represent what the player's force of falling over is? And that one was closer, but I felt Sean probably felt more than what the contact was, and that's why the flop was called.
So the challenge rolled out here. The Kings pull the trigger on the timeout. Sorry, the Breakers are pulling the trigger on the challenge. Rob Lowe, the subject of the review, as Noy goes into him.
And you look at Goodrich, he actually sort of grabs Rob Lowe, which means he can't get there. See that right hand from Goodrich, and then Rob Lowe's a little bit out. I do think it's a block the way he's gone to his left here, but see the holding.
Is Lowe just in his cylinder? Just up and down on the...
Yeah, he sort of moved. You look here, he moves to his left, so I think the block's correct. But the hard thing is the fact that Goodrich held him, which didn't allow him to move.
So Hunter Goodrick with maybe the foul. He wasn't called. It was called on Rob Lowe. Challenge unsuccessful. And the Breakers burn that opportunity again.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I was saying Goodrich. Thank you, Matty. It was Goodrick. But he just seemed to hold him. But yeah, I don't think that they could do anything more with that for Rob Lowe. But the right call in the sense that it was a block, and that's what they were challenging.
Played with North Sydney Bears in NBL 1, the NBL 1 Eastern competition. Hunter had 17 points, 11 rebounds, so averaged a double-double. Went out in the finals to step up the NBL, but that's nice. NBL 1 form to bring in.
Yeah, had a good season. I watched a number of NBL 1 games, and he certainly was a great player and well worth him getting a call up into the NBL team with the injuries they had, of course, to Lepepe, which was a huge one.
And Jason Spurgeon also with that foot injury. Well, actually, yeah, the foot. Out for 5 to 6 months. There's Liafa. And an offensive foul called here on Isaiah Liafa. Not having a happy night, Isaiah. Back on his old home floor. He spent a season as a King. They're going to lift themselves, the Breakers, down by 11 points. Here we are late in the third. Isaiah Leartha, a tall black. He's played with South East Melbourne, spent a couple of years at New Zealand before coming to Sydney, then going back home. He's found some really encouraging form in the NBL, but last year was a tough one for him. And tonight has been difficult as well so far. Kwatnoi off the glass. Give me two, he says. Watt goes to 5 points for the game. 2 of 5 shooting. Tarangi for Leartha, and off the ball. There's a foul called on Hunter Goodring.
Purple 5, Paul. Well, you just heard the referee there stop grabbing the shorts. Rob Lowe, very big, very physical, so it's tough for the youngster. Oh, nice out-of-bounds play there.
For Ruben Tarangi to finish. Rob Lowe, another one to go back to New Zealand, having played some really handy basketball at Melbourne United, part of that championship series last year. Do you like what the Breakers, under this new model, are trying to achieve? Get players with New Zealand heritage and a feel for New Zealand basketball back home and playing for their NBL club.
I love that. You don't know, there's a nice move by Bull Quall. I love that. I mean, you don't want to just bring any player in, but look at the players they've brought. They're quality guys. They know New Zealand. I love what they've been able to do.
Bit like Sean Bruce, culture setters, as Parker Jackson Cartwright misses. The ball falls for him, and he gets it second time around. 63-52. This nagging 11-point deficit for the Breakers. Can the Kings blow it open? 2 minutes left in the third. Bull Quall. He's off the mark. Parker Jackson Cartwright is called for the travel. That's because of the defensive urgency from Kendrick Davis. Brian Goorjian will love that.
Yeah, he will, and you can't blame PJC for that. That is the player that passed him as the ball's fault. There's no way he can see that because he had his back turned, but that is great awareness by Kendrick Davis to come up, not foul number one, and then made him make that travel. And for your defense, you can sit, Matty.
That surprised me. maybe Brian saw that as a reward. I don't think Kendrick will. Kwatnoi lets rip. And strong rebound, Bairstow.
Well, those woes continue. 7 of 24, Matty. 29% from the three.
Taylor Britt, he fires inaccurately.
Well, not much better there. 6 of 26 for 23%.
The shooting numbers looking pretty ordinary for the Breakers right now. From the field, 38%. From the land of plenty, 23%. And Kwatnoi says, let's play the high percentage game. Let's get up close and take a gimme two.
Well, that's better. He's had a couple of layups the last few times, and he'll just get that rhythm a little bit like what we spoke about with Jalen Galloway in the first half. Just see the ball go through the hoop. Now the next three, you feel a lot more confident. And I'm reckoning Kwatnoi's going to drop that next one, Matty.
Britt Leartha from outside, a long way from home. Rebound low, important one, that one. They reset. Britt works baseline and goes out of bounds. He put a foot on the baseline, Taylor Britt.
Matty, you talk about rebounding. Rebounding is a massive thing for New Zealand. They have lost each of their last 11 games when they lose the rebound count. So this is, rebounding is a key because it gives your defense time to set if you stop the ball by grabbing rebounds and getting your offense going. So it is a big key for New Zealand.
Hasn't been diabolical for them. They're behind 34-32, but Bull Quall drops three. Oh, so casual from Bull Quall. And now Lowe tries to go back at them. Quall with the rebound here. Well, the game getting away for the Breakers. 16 the difference. Can the Kings hit the break out by 18 or 20? Matthew Dellavedova as the crowd falls silent. Shot clock 11 seconds inside the game clock. And a defensive breakdown from the Breakers is milked beautifully by Sydney. Dellavedova, what a joy to sit and watch his distribution.
Well, it's a baseline ball here, 0.3 on the clock, which is the minimum you can do to catch and shoot it, so it's going to be literally thrown up to the rim. Just got to be careful of the back cut here. Watch for Bairstow faking the move. Well, this is a good move. Bring Baker in. You would assume now if they're going to do this, they're going to try and put something at the rim for him with his athleticism. So the Kings have to talk this up.
Yeah, 0.7 on the clock. Inbound coming from Britt. Baker tries to get free. Instead, it's Ruben Tarangi. He's off the mark. And we hit the break with a very handy lead for the home team. There's the conductor of the orchestra, Matthew Dellavedova. Have a look at that. Their head fake feed finished by Xavier Cooks. NBA star to NBA player. It's applauded by Mr. 350 Sean Bruce. Will break and come back to Kudos Bank Arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all thanks to Harvey Norman. And also stronger pose and hold it. Let me see like stronger pose and hold that pose. All right, let's kick it off. Here we go. Who's going to win? Make some noise and strike a pose. Oh, that's good. Stronger pose and hold the pose. Very, very good. I like that. Very good. Don't lose. Thanks to Harvey Norman and Cannon. Now don't lose. Just hold it. Oh, yeah, that's a good pose right there. Well done. Who else is there? Oh, they got the heart happening. Very creative, ladies. Very creative. Stay still. You'll strike a pose. It's a camera. What is the beautiful camera valued at $14.99? Thanks to Canada. Who's your winner? She's moving now. She's lost a chance. You have to strike a pose and then hold it. Yes, no, they're moving. No, they're moving. Hold the pose. It looks like she's going to answer a question. She's in the classroom. Come on, we need a winner. We need a winner. Strike. Oh, I like that. I like that. He's throwing gang signs. Go back to the other guy. Go back to the guy. He's good. Oh, my God. All right, I think he needs to go to solo. You are our winner. Well, hold on. We're still looking, are we? All right, you're our winner. We just got told by the judges. You're our winner. The Usain Bolt pose. Thank you to Harvey Norman and Cannon. Well done. You can take lots of pictures now.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jags NBL rookie round. The Kings outscoring the Breakers 31-18 in the third quarter. Brian Goorjian pleased with the effort. They're leading the rebound count, pressuring the ball defensively, and finally the shots are dropping. He wants them to keep this up in the fourth here and put their foot down. Matty, Brad?
Can they go on with the job? But Joe, a couple of Reebok influencers hope they can. You're looking at sitting to the right there, Maina Doe, an Indonesian-born Sydney-based singer-songwriter, and beside her, Miski Omar, filmmaker, director, screenwriter, recently involved at the Sydney Film Festival, about to be screened at the Bushwick Film Festival. So two very talented individuals, the ladies sitting side by side there, far more talented than you, Brad Rosen.
That's not hard, though.
I know you fancy yourself as a filmmaker, director and screenwriter. Just yet to be picked up by the big production companies, says Brockington. Well, what's the answer for the Breakers here? Write their screenplay for the next quarter for me. How do they get out of this one? Baker denied at the rack. Lopez couldn't get it done either.
Wow, they're going to call offense on Sam Meninga, I think, there, but that didn't look good for Baker. He went up, and as he fell down, someone was underneath him, so he fell on his hip, or hip flexor that it looked like. This is what they've called as the charge right there. And as he comes down, he clips Dellavedova's legs, goes right on that left hip. Oh, that hurts. But he's up and walking, thankfully. Matty, to answer your question, I think at the moment, everything feels like it's slow motion and a grind for New Zealand. They're obviously down by 18 here. I'd like to see them, as they're doing now, get up the court, try and cause some turnovers. They need some cheap baskets. They've been firing away from the three. They've shot more threes, 29, than they've shot from the field, 26. So they've, from the two, I should say. So for me, it's getting stops and running. They need some cheap baskets.
Bit of full court press, maybe some extra urgency in defence under their own bucket. Here's Kwatnoi. No good, and Jackson Cartwright with just enough reach, just enough to pull that one in. Joe touched on it. The Kings were kept to 17 points in the second quarter. They went to 31 in the third, so they virtually doubled their output second to third quarter. As a result, they have this commanding 18-point lead, which might become more here. No, they turn it over. A little too fast, a bit out of control there as the Breakers return the favour. Malawatch goes aerial. The bench out of their seats, plenty of crowd members likewise, because it's the Kings by 20. Well, the Breakers headed for their third straight double-figure defeat. Dellavedova for Noi.
Good defence by Meninga, just so strong. But New Zealand, they are looking very, very clunky here, Matty.
Struggling to bring the ball up the floor in this final turn. Foul called there on Jalen Galloway. The Amy replay, Brad.
Yeah, we have a look here. BJC trying to throw the ball in, and this man, he just brings energy every time. Goes upstairs and throws it down and doesn't miss the 350, and the bench love it.
PJC, Parker, Jackson, Cartwright.
Just so much standing around.
He was forced to pull up, then he found Meninga. He couldn't find his target. Rebound, Malawatch. And here come the Kings again. Dellavedova spotting Jalen Galloway. And he just can't finish. The ball falls for Delhi. Behind the back, and without looking, he couldn't see Sam Meninga in the road. And now the foul on Dellavedova.
Kings foul. He's on the road. Dellavedova is second.
Little running explanation there from the referees.
Yeah, just talking to Karim Lopez there. Dellavedova, after that turnover, has been taken out. Kendrick Davis back. And Tim Suarez was in there. Bill Cole stepping back in as well.
Lopez gets his fumble back. Meninga spotting Brockington, but Bull Qual had a hand in the row, showing his defensive abilities.
Qual's definitely had a better game here, Matty. 6 points, 2 or 4 from the field. Plus 15 when he's on the court, which is obviously a positive.
Against Cairns, 24 minutes, just 3 points, 1 of 3. McWatch, Malawatch. And Meninga grabs the rebound. Jackson Cartwright, pocket pass for Sam Meninga. Slamming Sam there. A highlight too few we've seen from New Zealand.
Well, it's quiet in this gym, but take nothing away from Sam Meninga. Let's have a look where he jumped off when we see that replay. That was amazing.
Takes him to 12 points, 10 rebounds, double-double for Meninga. Davis. And he's caught up in Brockington. He'll be called for the foul on Zaya Brockington. Sam Meninga is averaging 11 points, 7.5 rebounds, so not far from a double-double early in the season. There is a grown man play.
That's over Tim Suarez as well. Meninga goes upstairs and says, "Hello, Timmy."
One season at Cairns before his minutes dried up in the north. Now in his second back home in New Zealand. Davidson College graduate. No doubt a fan of Derek Rucker as a result, or maybe the other way around, or both.
Derek's a fan of him.
Absolutely.
No, I mean Derek's a fan of Derek.
He's not even hearing your fire.
Oh, yes, he is. He'll be listening.
73-54. Fourth term. Kings' second game of the season. Second home game as well. Parker Jackson Cartwright swirls through three.
Well, again, I just think New Zealand need to get up the court. You look here, they're able to do whatever they want, the Kings. Ball's going side to side. That last possession from New Zealand, there's no really energy or anything to their game at the moment. This league is too talented. You take 3 dribbles and literally gets all the way in and lays it up. This league is too talented if you don't want to play with energy every possession.
Baker stopped by Suarez, but Menenga finishes off, pouncing on the loose ball.
Well, I don't mind that, Matty. You know, get up the court.
That last bucket by Davis takes him to 10 made shots for the game, 10 of 16. 4 assists, building a nice stat line. Kendrick Davis, Suarez likewise. Looking very at home. Back at his old home, the Sydney Kings. Now contesting the rebound, it's a Breakers ball still. Suarez with 11 points and 8 boards, Brad. So he's not far away from a double-double as well.
Yeah, and 5 of 7 from the field, shooting at 71%. It's exactly what they want. He's +9 on the court. Only got a couple of rebounds, though. Sorry, he's got 8. Sorry, a couple short from a double-double, but he's played really well.
Bruce looking like he's going to celebrate game 350 with a win. He'll go to the line here for a couple of cheapies.
Well, that's a veteran play. Dribbles the ball up the court, makes sure he gets contact. The referees have no other choice but to call that foul.
Again, I go back to the NBL Now podcast a couple of times in his career. Sean Bruce didn't know if there'd be another NBL game, but just stuck at it. Found a way to impress the right people and has since taken every chance that comes his way. And we saw a shot earlier of Paul Smith, part owner of the Sydney Kings. He wouldn't give him away for anything.
No, he loves it. Yeah, I thought the time that he went in Adelaide, and he would say this as well, Joey Wright gave him that shot, and he just produced enough where the Sydney Kings were like, yeah, I like what I see here, and well, wasn't that a good move? He's helped bring 2 championships to this city.
He was the Laurie Watterson Kings Club Person of the Year last year, and that says a bit. The story of Sean Bruce. Isaiah Brockington, that's a tough shot. There are some signs from Isaiah, aren't there? Can he lift his output and do it consistently? As he feels his way into the NBL. Suarez turns and shoots, it's short. Bull Qual, rebound for Cooks. Well, that was a little easy. That's concerning for the Breakers. Bull Qual almost takes the rebound by accident, and then Xavier Cooks doesn't meet much resistance at the ring.
Well, Matty, you said it's concerning, and I agree. The problem I have at the moment is that there just doesn't seem to be the urgency. They're just going through the motions here. When you're down by, well, 18, and that's what it started with in the quarter, it can't just be up and down, and let's see if we can knock threes down. It's got to be the energy, but I just don't see it. This man on screen, he's got a lot to think about. I think they've been good, Matt, in areas. They're just nowhere where they're great, and that's what you need in this league. You need to be great to get wins. You look at the teams. I mean, I talk Adelaide. You look at Bryce Cotton. You talk, you know, Melbourne, Milton Doyle. You just got to be great in what you do. And I thought, you know, Melbourne's setting the tone here at the moment, and that's going to be a foul on Isaiah Brockington. But Melbourne have set the zone. Every player that comes on plays hard and knows their role. You look at Tasmania, I think they've been outstanding the way they've been playing. All teams, New Zealand are just going through the motions here today.
Brockington picks up his third. You should work for the NBL marketing department. There's a new slogan. You need to be great.
There you go.
You need to be great. It's a tough league. Kendrick Davis, runner-up to Cotton for MVP honours last season. What did he do this year as the Sydney Kings point guard? And there are more points for Xavier Cooks. Now Baker, he'll go to the line.
Is on Bruce. His first.
The WNBL, it's back October 18. Get your tickets, WNBL.com.au. We've got Kayla George. She's going to light up the court in Flyers colours. Jade Melbourne returns to the WNBL, and so many more. It's a reborn league, the WNBL, not far away now, October 18, all starting at John Cain Arena.
Well, I've just watched Brockington come off the bench. He's gone down the end, he grabbed a towel, he went right out of the bench. He's sitting there at the moment. He is one frustrated person right now. He's talking to himself. He just knows he just hasn't been able to put on what he wanted and expected of himself. 8 points, 3 of 7 from the field, only 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Really struggling out there and feeling it.
This Wednesday, the Kings go up against Melbourne United. Dean Vickerman's men fresh from that game against the Pelicans as Kendrick Davis adds 2 more to the tally, 28 for the game. And of course, Melbourne unbeaten to start the NBL season, so that's coming your way. Ignite Cup action, a new addition to the NBL landscape. The Ignite Cup on Wednesday, doubleheader in fact, with the Breakers in New Zealand against Illawarra and the Kings home against United. Xavier Cooks, is he warming up for that big matchup? He's 4 of 6 from the field, 8 points for the game. As the Kings foul. And a young development player coming on for the Sydney Kings, Lewis Awan. NBL debut, congratulations, Lewis, a 20-year-old. Played with North Bears as well, so along with Hunter Goodrick, Lewis out of the NBL 1 East competition. Played 6 games in total for the Bears. Out of that great basketball nursery, Savannah Pride, the Blacktown Storm, and more recently North Bears. Fast on his feet for a big man, I'm told, with good endurance. So number 21, watch him go.
Gotta give it straight back. Guys have a game delay warning.
Delay of game warning on the Breakers. Touching the ball, was it, as it came through the net?
Well, Tyler Robertson stepping on the court for the first time this season. Hasn't played anything at the moment. Has shown signs that he can knock down the shot as Tim Suarez knocks down the 3 as well. Well, he's turned himself into a very, very good game right here. 16 points, 7 of 10 from the field, plus 13 on the court, and 8 rebounds to go with his single assist.
His second bomb from 3 attempts. Timmy Suarez showing us the full set of skills tonight. 87-66. Ruben Tarangi brings it back inside 20. With just a couple of minutes to go, and a development player out there, this man Robertson, playing his first ball of the season. Now Ruben Tarangi, oh, if you don't mind, the behind your back bounce pass needed a finish. Baker couldn't provide, but he draws a foul on the way and will go to the line. Ruben Tarangi, if you don't mind.
What a beautiful pass there, but Baker wanted to go upstairs on Tim Suarez, but Timmy says no. Look, Matty, I'm trying to think, right, if I'm the coach of New Zealand, where do I go here? 68 points is just not going to get it done in any game of basketball in the NBL. I just can't help but thinking, you look down this team and they're just so talented. They've got good players. They just cannot seem to be gelling at the moment, and I'm trying to pick what it is. I feel the 1%ers just weren't even there today whatsoever. But you look at their starting 5 and a couple off the bench and the players they've got, there's certainly some upside, but you just can't be going 0-4, 0-5, 0-6 into the season when so many talented teams. I think it's going to take 17 wins as he misses that 3. I think it's going to take 17 wins, Matty, to get in this playoff. And when you lose 4 or 5 in a row, that 17 gets a lot further away.
Expanded 33-game regular season, up from the 29 last year. So a pushing foul called on Sydney. That will see Ruben Tarangi go to the line. But at 87-72, it's just delaying the inevitable for the visiting team, who will slide to 0-4 and head back home to Spark Arena for 3 crucial games. got to win 2 of them.
Yeah, at least.
I'd love to take all 3.
At least.
Turn out New Zealand at Spark Arena. Get your breakers off the canvas and into NBL26. Can the Kings get Lueth Awana score on debut for the time being? It's Makwatch Malawatch. Don't forget, next up, Brisbane against Tasmania, the second leg of your Saturday doubleheader of hoops. And Britt loses the ball. It's Kings' possession. The the Bullets, 1 and 2. Sam McDaniel joining their long injured list. Tasmania 2 and 1. They've won their last 2 road games. It's about to be 3 straight road wins to start their season as Robertson draws the foul, misses the shot, but he'll go to the line.
That's going to be a great game, Eddie. I really enjoyed watching Tasmania play in Illawarra last week. Obviously, Illawarra raising their banner, and the crowd was unbelievable in a sold-out venue, but they were just so solid with the way they played. So losing Deng is a big loss, that hamstring injury. That will certainly hurt them. But yeah, I'm loving Bryce Hamilton, and I think that's the key to that game right there.
Lost their first game at home, the Jack Jumpers, then went win, the second of which was in the Gong against the champs. Now they find themselves in Brisbane.
Yeah. And that first loss to a very good Melbourne United team as well, Matty, on the back of Milton Doyle saying, hello, Tasmania.
Yes. Tyler Robertson misses the back end, makes the first, has his first point for the season. Good to see this man, Davison, deliver on some of the highlights we know he can give us. Carlin Davison in his second year as a breaker. Some great New Zealand NBL form at the Taranaki Mountaineers. Is there a breakout season coming for Carlin? Well, not so far as Kwatnoi from a long way outside. The NBA team is in town, and that was from NBA range. Kwatnoi nods their head. What noise for Kwatnoi? And the Kings fans will stand and cheer this one out. They'd love this man to score. Lueth Awana. Does he take a shot, or does Robertson see it out with a 2? And 1 to come. Tyler Robertson will go to the line for another one. 96-75. It's a 21-point margin. Will it become a 22-point win as the Kings open their account in Hungry Jack's NBL 26? You bet you it will. 97-75. Just over a second to play, and that will do us. The Kings, after falling flat to start the season, bounce back in a big way. At home again, they host the Breakers and take down the New Zealanders by 22. Kings 97, Breakers 75. Well, Kendrick Davis with 28 points on 11 of 17 shooting. He was hot from the get-go, bouncing back after a disappointing opening night for the Kings. But he had plenty of support. Tim Suarez, Jalen Galloway, Kwatnoi all scoring double figures. And on the rebound front, they crashed the boards and won that advantage as well. 18 assists to 14. Wherever you go, it's advantage Kings tonight.
I think overall the Sydney Kings will be very happy. Obviously not New Zealand's day, and they didn't play very well, but after you lose your first home game, or your first game of the season at home, the important thing is just to get a win, no matter how you do, and that's what they did tonight.
They shot the ball at 51%. Importantly, having struggled from the land of plenty so significantly against Cairns, they improved in that regard. 11 of 33 outside tonight, but yeah, back to Kendrick Davis. He was 2 of 4 from outside, 11 of 17 all up. And he will be our footlocker player of the game. What does he have in store this season? How will he lead the Kings, having done so well at Adelaide? Yes, there might have been some headlines away from the court, but on court, he was promising in the City of Churches. What's he going to do in the Harbour City? Joe Healy just waiting to catch up with Kendrick, who's back home on Wednesday night against Melbourne. Then they run into Adelaide. Won't Kendrick be looking forward to that game? It's not far away. It's next Saturday. Kendrick Davis and the Kings against the Adelaide 36ers, Joe Healy. We'll head over to you for not one interview. You might have 2 interviews for us here.
Yeah, exactly right, Matty. I've got the Davis family. KD, your first win in Kings colours. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm more pleased at how we bounced back. Yeah, we got hit in the mouth. And Coach challenged us all week, but we together. So I'm just glad we bounced back, and we're not satisfied though.
What was said at halftime? Because you guys really came in and took the game with both hands in that second half.
I think we was up 6 against Kansas at half, and it went downhill. So Coach didn't really have to say much. He just told us, game not over. We respect everybody, so we just want to give the same second half that we did first half, which we didn't do in Kansas. So it gave us a good chance.
What about you personally? It looks like you're starting to find your rhythm and find your feet with this team out there. How did you feel?
I felt better. I'm like 80%. I only started practicing 2 weeks ago, so I'm still learning the guys. I'm still learning my spots. I'm still learning the offense with the ball in my hand, without it. I got great teammates in Delhi and X who's teaching me quickly. Gorge spends a lot of time with me. So I'm nowhere near where I need to be. I'm still learning the offense, still learning what coach like, what my teammates like, but once we get it clicking, it's going to be fun.
He said you're the hardest working import that he's ever worked with. Another hard worker, Sean Bruce, playing game 350 today. What is he like as a teammate?
Unbelievable teammate. Better person than he is, basketball player for sure. I want to play hard to make sure I got this win for him. Like, I woke up with it on my mind, like I got to get this for Bruce. He's a hard worker, team first guy. A guy like him played 20 years in the league for a reason. Get everybody better, always on time. You know what you get every single day. And I just want to play hard for him today.
Well said. Congratulations on the win. Get going with dad duty from here on.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, Joe. Kendrick Davis holding Kendrick Davis Jr. and he's a talented individual dad to be able to speak with a mouth guard in his mouth still and hold his son Kendrick, and he was talented on court as well. Have a look at his shot making, Brad.
Well, the only thing I heard, and this is going to make everyone in the NBL scared, I'm only 80% ready, he said, Matt, and that's what is just unbelievable. He's only been back for a few weeks, as he said. Last week he played well, but you could see the shot percentage today was down. But today, 28 points from 11 of 17. He had an unbelievable game.
He said all the right things. I loved him saying that he made it a real onus on himself to help celebrate the milestone of Sean Bruce. He said that was a big part of his motivation. That indicates a happy team man in Kendrick Davis.
Well, it says a lot as well, because he's only been with Sean Bruce for a couple of months, if that, and that's something that's really nice. But look, on the back of a 58-41 second half, the Sydney Kings just dominated after the half, and Joe asked that question, which was a great one, and they were just able to do what they needed to do to get done.
Not far away, we'll head to Brisbane. Bullets, Jack Jumpers coming up, but after the break, Joe will be joined by Brad. They'll break down the Kings, their first win of Hungry Jacks 26 NBL 97-75 against the Breakers.